I've seen the future.
Hey everybody, it's Colette Baron-Reid. Of course it's me. You knew that. Anyway, this is the week of, what is it? The week of August 14th, my dad's birthday. And we are doing our weekly Oracle card guidance and lesson. And I'm going to remind you right this minute that this coming Sunday, August the 20th, we have a free webinar. That's right, totally free, all about personal growth and prosperity. You want to be there. So there's a sign up button somewhere. I have no clue where it is, but you'll figure it out. And for people in Toronto, this Thursday at the Elizabeth Bader Theatre, I'm doing another big fundraiser for the Toronto Humane Society. It's Spirit Jam, dead people and music and fun and meditation and just awesome. And it has air conditioning, which is really good because the last time we did it at a church was like, we couldn't even breathe. Anyhow, let's get to the lesson this week for everybody, okay? So remember, these are prescriptions, not predictions. I want to show you how to create your future, not predict your future. So instead of giving your power over to Oracle cards, like tell me what's going to happen, I want you to be empowered by Oracle cards. Tell me what is in my highest good and what actions I need to take in order for me to always be in alignment with my highest good, etc., etc. There's a million ways of doing this, but giving it over to say what's going to happen isn't the right thing to do. So this is prescriptive. And so we asked Spirit, in order for all of us to be in alignment with the highest good, what do we need to know about this week? Now remember, we are entering into this Mercury retrograde in Virgo, which is, you know, it's always those ones that are run by that Mercury rules Virgo, or the other way around, I can't remember it. But anyway, bottom line is it's a little stronger this month. It's an 8-month. Glennis McCann's always talks about the 8-month. It's like being really tumultuous. So I always figure, like, strap yourself in, you're in for a ride. Now, this is a great week. First one, a change in the wind. So if you go back to what we talked about last week, where we had the never-ending story as the anchor card, which is kind of like that whole idea about if you do what we did, we're gonna get what we got. Well, if we'd done that work that we talked about last week, now we're at the change piece, right? It is a change in the wind. We're starting to do things differently. We're starting to think differently. We're starting to act differently. We're just starting to visualize more. Hopefully you're doing this at home. The future self and the things that we want to co-create in the world, more abundance, more prosperity, more peace, and being the change we want to see in the world, which is that. And go back and see that Facebook Live that I did last month on spiritual activism. You really should go watch it because it's very pertinent. Okay, so next card is soulmates. So what I love about this card, soulmates, it's not necessarily saying to you that you are going to meet a soulmate or somebody like that is coming into your life. It's actually asking us this week in this really sacred way to really pay attention to the people that are important to us in our life. And the other thing is too, is like the 5 people that you think about the most all the time tells you who you are. So if the 5 people you hang out with, 5 people you talk to all the time, take a look. If you got 5 drama queens that you're talking to all the time, I suggest you perhaps might like to have that change in the wind and not be a lot of hot wind. So this is the kind of week where we reassess those things because they're going to affect our health. Remember, Mercury in Virgo is all about health and work. Well, there's a lot more to it than that. You can go check out Deborah Silverman or Robert Ohado for that stuff. But bottom line is we know we're in the retrograde phase. Okay. Deep knowing is our next card, which is about intuition. It's about remembering that if we only look at the outer conditions, we're really looking at a teeny weeny sliver of what's really going on. In fact, the greater consciousness is invisible, and 96% of everything that's going on in the world right now, you can't see. So remember this, don't look at the conditions that are always only going to be temporary to tell you whether you're okay or not. The outside does not dictate the inside, okay? Trust your inner knowing. And then all that glitters. Now, sometimes all that glitters, you know, talks to you about warning that something is too superficial, or in fact saying to you that, you know, all that glitters isn't gold. But this here, it's saying that go beyond what is superficial and look for the real gold, right? And that's what we're going to be talking about this weekend's webinar on the 20th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You figure out what time you go in. Some of you Australians will be in the future. Anyway, it's a week to go deep. What is true prosperity for you? It's not the same for everybody, okay? Good week to start thinking about that stuff. Love your friends, love your family. Really look at who has brought you to where you are right now. Who's your tribe? Who's your community? Trust your intuition, and remember, things don't always remain the same. Now we're going to go to the Good Tarot, and the Good Tarot is our affirmation deck. And for those of you who don't know what the Good Tarot is, it's not real. It is a tarot deck, but it's really a hybrid oracle card tarot deck. You can use the card deck just like you would a normal tarot deck if you know the cards, but that's not how they were made. They were made for us to see how we evolve through the situations that the traditional tarot talks about. So the Seven of Fire is fantastic because it talks about going the distance and being in our personal best. I am unstoppable. My passion pushes obstacles aside as I engage in sustained effort. I know how to bend, but I don't compromise on what's most important to me. If others aren't happy with the course I'm on, I don't have to let their concerns affect me. I release this temptation to resist challenges, and I trust that I can make things happen as I live my life on my own terms. Inspired solutions present themselves. Now, I know I keep harping on this video from back in July when I did the spiritual activism, but this is really what this is about not pointing at somebody else and calling them wrong. And you know, like that can happen. Whenever you start to up level, we always say the up level is a new devil. But there's the idea that you would be challenged somehow by other people's opinions and need for you to stay in a conformist mindset. And this is saying, you know what? No, you know, I'm going to be true to my relationship, my conscious contact with my higher power. I'm going to know that for the highest good, when I do no harm and I serve what is best, I will be okay. And you get to choose. You don't have to be told what to do by everybody else. Anyhow, you can tell I'm a little bit of a rebel, a little bit. So thank you so much for listening, and I will see you next week. And if you like this video, well, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to put your cards on underneath. And remember, don't just put the card names. Try and kind of figure out what the storyline is and share that, and then come back at the end of the week and then see what you wrote and see what actually happened. And you'll start to really, really hone in on your intuition as you get to know the language of the cards. These are an instrument of divine dialogue. Anyway, also share this with your friends if you want to, if I said that, I said that, I'll say it again. And subscribe to the channel. And if I said that again too, well, okay, see you next week.
I've seen the future. It's beautiful.